Hello, Impact Wrestling fans. I'm Jason, back with the Horror King. No noise for him this week because we got some big breaking news. Moose has re-signed with Impact Wrestling for the longest contract in company history. We don't have any, we don't know the years or the money or anything, and who cares, but awesome news. I kind of hope he goes back to this theme. Maybe like a good guy Moose for a little bit, because remember when the crowd would just go crazy with that, Gary?
Oh yeah, totally. It made, I don't know, it just seemed like it was like more like closer to his, like the Moose character.
Yeah, but I also love heel Moose, so I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I think the big news is Impact gave a most likely decent money to someone for a very long time who's going to be sticking around, and I'm really happy and excited about that.
We just might want to throw out there tonight's episode. We are reviewing is episode number 67, and it is the June 19th podcast.
Oh yeah, what's your T-shirt again? Go ahead.
What's that?
What's your T-shirt of the week?
Oh, podcast T-shirt of the week. I went with our old buddy Dango, and I believe it's
kind of new, buddy.
Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Nice. Currently on sale for $24.99 to $26.99.
Yeah, I think we've both become Dango marks. It's fair to say.
Yeah, definitely.
In a very quick amount of time, I think we probably said, "Oh man, Dango," you know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy. But back to Moose for a second. So I think he kind of trolled everyone because this is his statement. Leaving Impact Wrestling was a very hard decision to make. Since I made my debut in July 2016, I have accomplished so much. Truth is, there is so many matches I wanted to have, so many matchups we had, but then I realized, unlike MMA, I don't have to beat the great wrestlers and other organizations to be considered great. My body of work speaks for itself. I believe my peers in all other companies and organizations respect my work. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Right now, when you hear Impact Wrestling, AJ Styles and Kurt Angle are the top names that come to mind. I want to be at the top of that list. So with that goal in mind, I have more I want to get done in my time at Impact. Not only did I sign back with Impact Wrestling, but I also signed the longest deal anyone has ever signed in company's history. A whole lot of work to be done, so let's go.
I'd like to add to that tweet, too. It is also being reported as Moose is his whole reason for being in Impact as well is his comfort zone. He has a lot of close friends in Impact. It's been said that he's afraid to just throw all of that away, to just go somewhere else where
there's a bunch of articles. Sorry, there was a bunch of articles like that last week. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I guess we kind of should have seen this coming, but I also thought it might have been like he was talking a bunch of nice stuff before he left. Yeah, and whatever. I'm really happy. I'm a pretty big Moose fan. I think you're a big Moose fan. Like, he was just great heel, great face, and he's just a huge dude that, you know what I mean? Like, I belongs on the top of the main event, which I think they need.
I was a total fan of his even before he came in Impact. I must admit, when I first seen him debut in ROH, I was one of his haters, if you will. I saw an ex-football player. I thought maybe, he couldn't go, and I don't know, some time went by, and I'm like, damn, this, this is a good find by ROH and Sinclair. And I mean, anybody'd be lucky to have him on the roster. And lo and behold, a few years later, he shows up on Impact. So I was pretty stoked when he made his debut. So I knew what I was getting when he showed up on Impact.
Yeah. So I guess if you all didn't know, Gary is an old school Ring of Honor mark, and feel free to abuse him on that. And speaking of that, PW Insider reported over the weekend, Delirious signed with Impact as a writer and producer several weeks ago, and is now working behind the scenes of creative. Impact talent and staff were informed by Scott D'Amore that Delirious had joined the promotion in the same email in which it was announced that Jimmy Jacobs was leaving. So, I mean, you know more than me, but I think it's cool. I love him as a wrestler, first of all. So I like him popping in every now and then. I think it would be nice if he's still doing that. And, whatever you think about the other parts of him.
Well, what I find interesting, Jay, is he was with us prior to this, and then he I guess he went to MLW or something, or was he something to do with the ROH? Tony Khan's version of ROH.
Yeah, I thought he was with Khan, but maybe he went back. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know he was doing something in MLW a little bit, kind of dabbling. I don't know if he was kind of like maybe working with Raven, maybe over there. But
That
either
might
way,
kind
it's
of rings a
good.
bell.
It's kind of good that he managed to come back to the company, because I thought when he was there the first time, I noticed not a huge improvement, but I noticed things that stood out to me, like being wrestling heavy and whatnot. So this is a good decision.
Okay, so last little piece of news before we get into the Impact review, where I think the big question of the week, I like to have a question of the week. It's going to be, are fans into the whole Scott thing? And Scott versus, basically Scott wrestling, Scott versus Bully, the Scott Bully feud, whatever. So, but before that, posted something in the Impact Wrestling fan group, which is growing very quickly and awesome. The Good Brothers almost re-signed with Impact before joining WWE. Thought it was kind of a non-news story, but a bunch of people liked it, so whatever. There you go, people. It's on Wrestling Inc. if anyone cares. And let's just get to the show now, which I think started off very interestingly, and I'm sure a lot of people hated it and a lot of people loved it, because this was an incredibly long WWE type promo segment.
We also might want to mention before the show kicked off, they did show a video recapping how Alex Shelley beat Steve Maclin at Against All Odds.
Sorry, we also did not mention this episode is in, I don't know the word.
Ohio?
No, sorry. Oh. I didn't know the word about your dog.
Oh,
rest in peace.
Yeah. Sorry to give everybody bad news about the podcast. We try to keep it positive here. My dog passed away, of all days, on Father's Day. I went to give her water, and I thought she was looking really stiff and still, and I went to pick her up, and she had already died. So it is what it is. She was 11 years old, and Pomeranians don't tend to, live an awful long life, but it was pretty shocking. I was pretty upset for since Saturday or since Sunday.
Yeah, terrible. And I'm sure there's a lot of dog lovers out there, so give Gary some love in the Gary some love in the comment section. And okay, so this is from this was in Ontario again, right?
No, this was in Ohio.
No.
Yeah, this is coming out of Against All Odds. Remember, because it was in OVE territory with Ohio.
Okay, well then, 411 has the Agriplex from London, Ontario. I just pulled it up fast to check because I don't put that on my reviews, sure, which you can find at wrestlingpurist.com. Oh no, you're right. Well, I'm right. Columbus, Ohio. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it was Columbus. This is the show after Columbus, Ohio. Boom. Well, no, I have Against All Odds took place in Columbus, so this was the show right after Against All Odds, right?
Yeah, this is the fallout.
It had to be in Columbus. Boom. We're right. 411 was wrong. Sorry, this is from Himanshu, who's pretty awesome. I like his reviews, and I have my own, but I like kind of going through others and seeing what they say about certain things. So, what did you think about the opening? Too long? Did you like it? A lot of talking.
I definitely think that this was definitely a little long. I thought the Bully thing was a Bully at the last set, or was it at the Go Home show? I thought Bully, that segment opening the show was much more, was a better packaged talking segment to start the show.
There was just so much going on here. This was like, I don't want to say like the worst of like a WWE type thing, but I thought it started out awesome with the machine guns. I really liked how Shelley mentioned that he influenced, I don't know if he trained with them or whatever, Seth Rollins and Okada versus on top of other people. I mean,
okay,
Seth Rollins and Okada. I mean, Jesus, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying here, because it felt like it was an ever ongoing.
Oh yeah,
who's going to come down the ring? Who's going to come down the ring?
Yeah. Okay. So ready for anyone who missed it. Okay. So the Motor City Machine. Oh wait, no, sorry. I got to mention the BTI match. Gia Miller was on commentary, and I guess I don't watch enough BTI matches because I didn't realize she does commentary for all of these. Well, maybe she started kind of recently. I don't know. Whatever. But Laredo Kid was on there. My boy. Love seeing Laredo Kid. He teamed with Jack Price. I don't know. Kind of a cool team that I'd like to see in the future.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they lost to Champagne Singh and Shira, who did a solid job, and I thought the faces made them look like really good.
Oh wow. Well, I know.
And then guess what? You're gonna love this part.
What's that?
Guess who returned? Stone Cold Heath, and he took out. He just started taking people out.
Yeah,
we love that version of Heath, and now I think he's back.
Yeah, I do. I totally think they should have kept going with that, like back when Honor No More was still with us. I think that's the way you book Heath. You kind of make him look, at least incredibly over. You know what I mean? Like he's over with the fans, and like he's in a comfort zone playing that character.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like he kind of slid back into the tag team, and it was more like, I don't want to say boring, but like more of the same. And he just looked more excited.
They were kind of holding him back.
Like he looks more excited on his own. I don't know. He also became the new All-Star Wrestling World Champion over the weekend. Again, you can read that at Wrestling Purist. Okay, so Motor City. Sabin and Shelley come out after winning their respective World and X Division titles at against all odds. Nick Aldis pops out next, and he was pretty respectful, talking about defeating Shelley. Then out comes Trey Miguel burping, and I just wrote a not so good promo. So then I wrote, thankfully, next up is Kenny King with Sheldon Jean, because Kenny King is awesome. He kind of saved it for a little here. So here's my notes ready. So that was long, but kind of fun. And then, oh my God, it's still going. Here comes Giselle, Savannah Evans, and Jay Vidal. So, ready? It's not even over yet. Out comes Trinity, Deonna Purrazzo, and then Santino finally, who thankfully, of course, saves everything. And he put, yeah, go ahead.
It was just kind of like we were getting a Royal Rumble.
Oh yes, it was. Oh my God, it became silly, and I love talking promos. So like, there was a lot of good stuff here, but I don't know. I think, and it was all from one match. Like I was gonna say it should have been 2 segments, and I think I did say it should have been 2 segments, but it was all like Santino stuck it all together in one match with Nicholas Aldis and Sheldon Jeans. Sheldon just putting an S on the end of the guy's name, and you know what I mean? Like, the way he says things, he's so goddamn funny. And that was really crazy long, and I don't know. I guess curious how people think about that. I'm kind of in the middle. Like I think it's better than a shitty opening match or whatever. So Macklin video when he is pissed. I like that. But also kind of a note in my head, he lost the Wrestling Revolver World Championship over the weekend. So maybe everyone keep an eye. Maybe everyone keep a little eye on that. Maybe there's something going on with Macklin.
Yeah. He does still at least have his wife. Isn't he married to Deonna?
Well, yeah, that's my worry. Someone's going to get Macklin and then try and steal Deonna, but who the hell knows? They got Moose. Maybe going to start spending money. I don't want to be negative. And speaking of that show, oh no, this was a different show. Wait, Jesus, was this a different show? Yeah. Chris Bay and Ace Austin became the new FSW Tag Team Champions last night at their anniversary show.
Was that what they won for the titles there?
Yeah, they defeated Lights Camera Faction, Fresco and Watson. Not sure if you've heard of them, but cool name.
Yeah, it is. It's standout for sure.
Also, Jay Vidal wrestled on the show, which I thought was interesting. And I'm always saying, let the goddamn guy wrestle on Impact, Like, let me see what he's got. And it's not like they have a ton of too much talent, you know what I mean? Like they can't fit him.
Well, I do know he's quite popular on I believe on the Vegas scene. So I mean, I would imagine he's probably kind of high flying, being on the Indies. He is a smaller guy.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, from what I've seen, yeah. And he kind of reminds me of Alicia from like a year ago when I was but I mean, totally different kind of thing because he's a wrestler. But it's like he's there, do more. Put him on BTI, whatever. Then it was highlights from OVE against the design. Dina was backstage and blamed Alan Angels. I like this a lot because I think Angels is a very good wrestler and he's going to probably, go on his own. And also Khan got a little mic time and came off cool. Yeah, I wrote this is the first interesting thing the design has ever done, maybe ever.
Yeah, because I mean, it was really funny because like we all know in the heart of hearts that Angels isn't the reason why they are going downhill so fast. It's because Diener is losing control of the ship and he's blaming it on Angels.
Yeah, I like it. It's they're finally making some kind of a story out of it, and instead of just maybe it was a long-term story, but a little too long until they started getting into things. I think things like this they could have like kind of slow played it, like had Angels like maybe I don't know out wrestling everyone, you know what I mean, and like making everyone look bad, and then that's the reason the reason you blame him, but whatever. I mean, like I told you, man, I don't know if you saw it, but he had an incredible match with Kenny Omega. Like it was like a 30-minute match on Dynamite.
Oh yeah, we totally know he can go. So I mean, I could see a storyline in the future where he just leads.
Definitely, yeah. Go solo, and who the hell knows from there. So not many matches on this show, but here's one: Rich Swann defeats Moose. I don't know. I wrote 2 top talents on the roster who have been directionless for a while. Swann picked up the win in a great match, and hopefully this leads to better things for both guys. And I do think part of this was. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just thought. I mean, this is a great matchup here. I just thought we'd see Moose pick up the win just because they've kind of gotten Rich kind of being semi-jobberish, if you will.
But then, to be fair, Swann did need a win.
He did.
And backstage, Moose is met right after, and I love this again. Brian Myers, man. He wants to tag with Moose, and I love the idea of that team.
Honestly, I think if anybody gets the titles off Ace and Bay, I honestly think it would be a Moose and Brian Myers. Just totally. Because they have all that experience factor. Moose being the size he is, I mean, I could see, him being the difference maker.
You got Moose as like, the main event killer guy, and it's not like, what's his name is terrible.
I mean, what wouldn't be nothing.
And Myers, and Myers is a very good wrestler who can, abuse the shit at anyone on the microphone and make them just super heels.
Yeah.
So that could be fun. Next up, Bully Ray, and here we go. Very curious what the world thinks about this. Bully Ray comes out talking about how he's a victim of Scott D'Amore, which I don't know, I thought the whole thing was kind of funny, but I have a note. Why is this a feud? I don't know how Super Scott returns so quickly from a flaming table spot. And then I wrote, I'm really hoping this is not setting up Bully against Scott.
I mean, I know what they're going for, this nostalgia of the burning table and whatnot and everything. But, like, at the end of the day, this is a president of a company. He's not even an active wrestler. I know he used to be back in the day, but, I mean, he's a lot older now, a lot slower. It's just not very believable. And we mentioned on the past podcast, we had a big problem with this.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you'd be a little more forgiving because Scott, like, kind of, like, I try to explain to people, like, I don't have a history with Scott the wrestler at all. Like, even, like, joke of a wrestler. What was he, like, a joke of a wrestler in Impact back in the day?
I know there were times when Team Canada would have, like, matches, like, as a team.
Yeah.
Sometimes be their fifth partner, or he'd just kind of be the difference maker. He might try to do some kind of like a swanton or something, like up from the upper part of the ropes. And
that's what I mean. So he was like a kind of a gimmicky guy.
Yeah, he's actually pretty damn good, but I mean, it's not. It's 2023, and we're supposed to believe that this is going to be.
And that's the thing. Like, I have no idea. Like a lot of people, I have no idea that he's good. Like he might be great, and like if I had some kind of history knowing that, you know what I mean? Like compared to like other guys, even Santino, for example. Jesus.
Well, I mean, look at what Josh there. I can't think of his last name. Married to Madison.
Matthews.
Yeah, Josh Matthews. Even he pulled off an amazing feat there. Remember? kind of amazing thing there. I mean, I guess it's a case of like we don't see it enough, or well, we don't really want to see it at all. But I mean, I guess it's a case of we don't see it often, so we're expecting the worst. But who knows? Maybe it will deliver. I don't.
I mean, it is, to be fair, it's a tag team match. I was afraid it'll be a one-on-one, and maybe it will be a one-on-one eventually. Also, this is just us talking. I've looked around, and a lot of fans are interested in this. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, it's not like I'm going to turn the match off. You know what I mean? When it happens.
No, I totally never do that.
Especially with PCO in there, our boy.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of a savior to this match, I believe, and Macklin, who's awesome, and Bully, who's awesome. It's just like those are somebody wrote this. I think it was 411. That it's 3 world champions and Scott D'Amore. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. And he took out Bully here, like with a spear, I guess, like a quick little spear. And like even that, I was like, like wouldn't Bully just throw him out of the way? But again, it goes back to the same thing. I don't want to keep complaining.
But I kind of feel like maybe they're trying to play Bully off as he's lost a step or two. He's a little slower. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's what they're doing, but I kind of get that feeling like that's why they didn't have him like win the title from Josh Alexander either. The same, he just couldn't pull it off, because it wouldn't be believable in that he's.
Yeah, that'd be a good story, but they're not
what I mean?
Telling it enough.
Yeah, maybe emphasize it, Bully's
like that's why he keeps. Yeah, that's why he keeps have Kenny King do it. He'd be perfect.
Yeah,
backstage, messing with him. But whatever. I mean, hey, listen. I hope fans are interested in that, and they buy tickets for the show, and they want to check it out. Now here we go again with another one. Macklin and Bully. Okay, sorry. PCO popped out there, I believe. Yeah. Macklin came out. Oh yeah. Macklin came out to save Bully from Scott D'Amore, which I had to laugh as I was typing it. Macklin came out to save Bully from Scott D'Amore, who was later saved by PCO. Again, I don't want to keep shitting on this, but just everything about it just seems weird. And odd,
I do love Bully's his facial features every time PCO pops up in the ring.
Oh yeah.
And then the first thing he says is he'll say, "Screw you, PCO."
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just
he has a terrified kind of look, and then he tries to act. That's the thing I love. He tries to act like a bully. I think that's more of his character. He's like a punk that
And he's totally.
If you stand up to him, he'll totally back down.
He's totally scared of the PCO character.
And just really quick before we end that part, I did really want to see him versus Gresham, and I thought they were kind of setting it up when he made him look really tiny against all odds.
Yeah, so. That's what somebody said. They said they could see that, or they could have seen maybe a Moose Gresham kind of rivalry.
And I think you might have mentioned that happened, and they have history in Ring of Honor, so whatever. I kind of got that in my head, so that's probably part of why I don't like the Scott thing. But I loved this. So backstage, Macklin and Bully are talking about PCO. They get interrupted by Kazarian, just talking shit. I loved it because he's it's not like a heel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Frankie.
I've never really seen that, a face fucking with heels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Frankie and Eddie have some kind of Boston connection.
Yeah, so Eddie popped in and he talked to Kaz about them being Killer Kowalski guys, which I didn't know.
Yeah.
And so it looks like that's going to be their new connection, and Alicia was kind of against it, and it looks like a tag match is coming at some point between those guys. I'm not sure if that's been announced. I'm sorry. I think it's actually on this week.
Well, I don't know what you think, but I'm kind of this. I was telling someone on one of the sites, I don't know if anybody got that feeling tonight on this particular episode, but it felt like Impact was kind of throwing it in the wind that they were starting to stack up the tag team division a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm looking now. It was announced, and it is happening this week. Bully and Macklin versus Kazarian and Eddie Edwards. So I mean, Jesus, how's that for a tag team? And then you get Bully and what's his name? That's two legit tag teams.
Well, they're answering our call because, we were saying, Ace and Bay were mowing down the competition. We were even having to go outside the company. And then, of course, of one episode, we're seeing these writings on the wall about different teams forming. So maybe they're.
Sorry, go ahead.
Or just maybe they're listening to about bolstering the tag division.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of had a few glaring weaknesses, and yeah, they're kind of going at them now. So good job for that. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I don't want to keep saying it, but signing Moose, I feel like was a huge goddamn thing, and really excited about that. And we missed a Heath promo backstage, but he talked about that fast, and how Rhino got hurt, then Rhino got hurt again, and Heath is back to remind everyone who he is and give them a wake up call. So Stone Cold Heath is back. Boom. And yeah, we got the Myers thing and then the Macklin thing. And yeah, I'm really loving, really excited about the Cavs. We got more tag teams. And speaking of tag teams, this is why they're needed. I'm not calling them ABC, even though everyone else is. I don't care. Chris Bay and Ace Austin defeated Decay pretty quickly. And I mean, I don't know, maybe too quickly, but I think it was kind of, like they're just too goddamn good. They were showing it. And backstage, the Machine Guns even like gave them they said like, we're glad you guys are taking care of the division, kind of like a passing the torch.
Oh yeah, this was pretty cool here. Not to kind of like change the tone of the podcast tonight, but did you realize next week they have actually 3 tag team matches this coming Thursday on Impact?
Thanks, you actually caught me. I was right about to say I didn't even notice Gresham and Bailey are teaming this week against the Designs. And then the other is OVE. Wait, no, that's a 3-way. That's a 6-man tag. OVE versus Myers and the Good Hands. So I'm thinking OVE wins that, kind of beats the piss out of them. Myers walks out and, ends up meeting with Moose, like, F those guys. Now it's me and you now, bro.
Oh, yeah, totally. I think that Taylor Wilde Killer Kelly match could be a show stealer.
That's another one. But Jesus, can Kelly get a win? Goddamn.
She needs a win.
I mean, she's like, but again, I don't know. I feel like she's, at least with me, she's incredibly over.
You know what I think is going to happen in that match? I think Taylor Wilde is going to be like cheating with the help of Kylene King, and then that's when we see Mike come to Killer Kelly.
That'd be sick.
Rescue.
Okay, that'd be sick, man. Nice call there. And I mentioned how much I would love it. They kind of like beat the shit out of each other and earned respect. And she's also a great follow on Instagram at Kelly Wrestling. Jordan put up a post something like, "What am I gonna do next?" Or like, something like, "What am I gonna do next?" And like, she just responded me with like the emoji. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know. She's always doing stuff like that. I don't know. It's just funny and kind of hot. You know what I mean? And like kind of fits the character.
Yeah, I didn't notice if you noticed a tweet on from Killer Kelly. Apparently, Trey Miguel and Kenny King are really good friends of hers too. So,
didn't know that. Got to mention Bhupinder. Talked about his upcoming documentary, and he's interrupted by Dango. Not only did Dango bash Bhupinder, but I think he called Jaya ugly.
Oh no!
He's such a great dick. I mean, I'm even interested in that Bhupinder match with Dango. No offense to Bhupinder, but he just hasn't been booked very well. But he is so funny. Like he just if you bash Bhupinder, then he walked away. I don't know if he called it ugly or something. He bashed Gia,
especially during the Me Too movement kind of thing.
Yeah,
and like you're typecasting somebody ugly,
like Gia of all people, who's like drop dead beautiful and great at everything, and it was just great heel stuff. So then we get to the main event, a 10-person mixed. Is it called a mixed tag? Were there men wrestling with women at any point?
Oh, there totally were. You had Deanna and Trinity out there, and then you had Savannah and Giselle.
I'm sorry, my question, I guess, is it called a mixed tag if it was just men wrestling? You know what I mean? Like, if it's men on one side and the women on the other side, and only the men wrestle the men, then is it a mixed tag? Well, whatever.
I guess it's kind of a weird setup.
Yeah. I don't know. What'd you think? I expected a mess, and I thought it was mostly fun.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, it was actually pretty cool to see the women out there standing alongside the men, and then it just felt like really big league because like each wrestler was getting their move on the other one, and I noticed Trinity a couple of times was really digging Chris Sabin, some of the fast like kicks and whatnot. She looked like she was having a really good time out there. I don't know, just they looked like they were all having fun, and that's what you want to see on your main event. That's the whole point of the main event, make it fun.
Yeah, I give Giselle some crap because I just don't see her like as a top knockout like Deanna and I was going to say Jordan. Well, I'm still going to count Jordan. Screw it. But I mean, even like Masha. I mean, Masha's like incredible. Like, I don't know if people have seen enough of her or her independent matches, but she wrestled Deanna. Check out those matches, or Jordan, whoever. I mean, she lost every one of them, but they were all great matches, all her title matches. I thought Sheldon Jeans looked a little out of place here.
He did, but my thing is, I think he's got a much better character than he is, competitor. Because, like, I feel like Kenny King is, kind of taking him under his wing, and he's kind of priming him, or however you want to say the word.
Oh yeah,
he's kind of getting him ready for, to dialogue or whatnot. And I noticed.
Don't get me wrong. I love everything about King and Jean. I think Sheldon Jean could be a star one day. I just, like, if you look at this match, it's literally all stars. Oh, yeah. Sheldon Jean. I mean, I'm sorry. Hate to pick on Savannah, but also Savannah Evans. So okay, she did fit. It's kind of like, it's
definitely kind of a mismatch. I feel like the faces had a lot more stacked.
Oh yeah, Deanna, Trinity, Motor City Machine Guns, and Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
Defeated Giselle, Savannah, Kenny, and Sheldon. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and you got like
that one. I didn't even realize if that was totally unfair.
Yeah, it really was. But I mean, they did look good in defeat, though. So
it's the faces. One problem I have with this is the Deanna Trinity thing. They're too friendly, and I think Trinity's done a great job, surprisingly great, because I don't know, I thought she would have like that WWE style, and she's kind of fit right in. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe they might pull maybe Trinity's heel. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe
I'm gonna say do something fast though, because that match kind of needs a hook other than two very good wrestlers.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like she's trying to convince her she's this good girl, and she just wants a title shot. Straight up.
But that might be weird considering how the show ended, with Nick Aldis turning on Alex Shelley. And I put a poll up in our group, and the large majority loved it. Sorry, got to quickly mention, I also put a poll up about if fans wanted to see the return of the Bound for Glory series, and everyone wanted except maybe one person. And it was the most voted on. It was the most voted on thing I've ever done.
Well, I went one step further, Jay. I said I would love that, but I would also like a revamped world title series. I think that could be something pretty cool as well. I think back in the day we didn't really know what we were getting, and it was really a good idea. Just it wasn't executed really good.
Well, you know me. I'm usually a bit critical about a lot of things, but I'm just so happy about Moose, and maybe this is the start of things. And I think the big problem was they didn't have enough people signed to kind of do things like the Bound for Glory series, and even have the main event was weak, as we've been talking about for a while, and they had Tommy Dreamer kind of close to the main event or in it.
Yeah, and we've been doing really good at these shows. I couldn't get over how Ohio. The day before, I was hearing people say the tickets weren't all exactly gone, and the day of Against All Odds, the place looked packed to the gills, And I looked, and it's like they must have a really good walk-up crowd. So I know I've seen someone say they don't really think they should go back here, but I kind of disagree. I like the look of the venue. I think it. You stay steady here. I think you could get some good crowds here, Jay.
Well, I'm still missing the awesome place in Canada that just looked like fucking.
Oh, Raw. You're missing the Rebel Complex.
It looked like fucking Raw. You know what I mean?
Oh Jesus, yes, that place is amazing.
Yeah, it really was. But whatever.
Or as they say today, amazeballs.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things I was like, oh, I really hope this doesn't make me forget the word, but yeah, that's kind of exactly what it did. It got me. Whatever the hell the word is, I'm gonna think about it all the time and be like, oh, this would look so much better there. But whatever. Here was my notes. This was a very odd episode with just 3 matches and some overly long promos. The bully one I thought was also kind of long. But there was a bunch of things I loved, like Kaz, Eddie, Moose, Myers, Dango, Angels possibly heading solo, and the matches were all good.
Oh yeah, totally. I think I'd even add kind of a surprise victory with Swann pinning Moose. I was kind of surprised about that. I thought we might not go to a no contest, or Rich would have come up just a little short, just because like Moose kind of needs a big win as well.
Took the words right out of my damn mouth. I was right about to say that. All right, well, looks like we're going to finish early today. I gave it a 7.8. Just want to mention He-Man-Chu from 411 gave it a 7.1, so kind of a hater this week, and I killed him in my review. Just joking.
I honestly, I'm going to go lower than you because I know you like the talking and whatnot, which I do to a point. I
feel like it was a kind of a reboot show with the tag team guys, and
yeah, we had quite long talking segments on the show, and that's always going to be down for me a little bit, even though not a lot, because I mean it wasn't horrible, but I probably will go with about a 7.6. It wasn't a horrible show, but there's ways I would have come out of Against All Odds. I don't know. You think of the fallout from a pay-per-view, you think you should get kind of knock your socks off kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think they could have if they just like cut that first thing in half, but I don't know. I guess they needed to have a 5-on-5 match and
they can get whoever they can on the show. Yeah,
kind of the only way they can do it there. So, yeah. Let me just quickly read this from He-Man-Chu. I'm not sure I'm behind Scott D'Amore wrestling again at Slammiversary against two. Oh, that's where I saw it. Against two former world champions, but I'm sure they want to capitalize on the reaction the last time they were in Windsor. So they're looking to do something similar again. I mean, I don't know. Is that really why they should have a feud? Because maybe they'll get a pop on something that happened one time. Well, that's just his thoughts. Because I mean, again, I've been on this whole thing, so I like throwing out other people's. I like throwing out other people's thoughts. And oh wait, sorry, one more thing I have to get to before we get the hell out of here. And damn it, I should have had this pulled up. Well, yesterday was Masha's 25th birthday. Thought that was surprising. Not that I don't know why I thought she was a little bit older. Did you think she was 25?
Who, Masha?
Yeah.
No, I didn't really know her age at all. I know one time I tried to look up Jody Threat. I couldn't find anything on her. I don't know if it's because she's like super new to wrestling or what, but no, I didn't know. I had no idea that Masha was 25. I would have said maybe a little older, maybe, but
I would like to see her locked up next.
Oh, I would too. Yeah, she looks like she's having fun in Impact.
I could also name Deanna and bring back Jordan, and
Well, that's the thing. I was just going to mention you mentioned Masha. I've noticed Masha's been hanging out a lot with Jordan Grace, so maybe she could be the gateway to keeping Jordan on the roster. Who knows?
Yeah, it's one of those. Here's a little bit of news. As Alex Shelley and Sabin were celebrating their title wins from Against All Odds, the camera panned to reveal former WWE ring announcer Greg Hamilton sitting in the front row, who later tweeted, "Damn, you all really noticed? May or not be me front row at Impact, but if it was, Scott D'Amore, I had a blast. # never say never."
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought somebody had more or less said he was like backstage, but he was at ringside.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Sitting near the ring.
Wow. I knew that. Thanks for clearing that up, Jay.
Yeah, I would have never picked up on that, and I just happened to see it. And
we might want to mention too a little bit more news is 11 days we're going to be touring down under, 2-night show. So look for that. Order it through Fight when it's available.
There was also we mentioned Delirious. There was a really funny Instagram post by Nick Aldis after he turned heel. It's like I didn't love the heel turn that much, but his Instagram tweet was just hysterical. It was kind of like, yeah, I did it again, you idiots, because he always turns heel. You know what I mean?
yeah, I liked it, but I also saw it coming. But I think one way I would have slightly improved that is I would have ended the show with him like doing more of a beat down. Like kind of
okay, ready? Okay, really fast. Impact fan group comments from the live thread. Kenneth McDonald. Nice promo by nice promo by the Machine Guns. The crowd is really popping for the Guns. Alan Shrage or Shrage. One day I'll get that. The reign of shell shock is finally here. Sam Pittman. Yeah, a lot of stuff from Alan. Awesome dude. Santino. I smell a 6-man tag coming, turned into a 10-man. I do not like Aldis. I really hope I'm wrong about him winning the title. It's again from Alan, and kind of agree with that one. I was liking face Aldis. I mean, I don't know.
I'd like to do a bit of a shout out to Alan tonight. I guess his father's battling cancer. I don't know if there's any chance, that he will beat it or not. But if there's a chance, please make it possible for him.
Also, Mal James, Kenny King, and Sheldon Jean, the great value version of Carmelo and Trick. Pretty sure that's some kind of joke about NXT guys who I'm not really sure. But hey, I'm going to throw everything out there that people mention. And then,
that's cool.
He also subscribed to the podcast after, I forget, I mentioned it somewhere, so that was cool. And Sam Pittman, best part, Shelley won the WCW championship in my wrestling content. Maybe they saw that on Facebook and thought it was a good idea. That'd be funny. See?
That's totally cool. You get a lot of input from that group, which is now parenthesis over 500 members, Jay.
Yeah, 503. Past 500 today, which is very cool. And yeah, looking now, see if they had any news, but looks like there's Josh Pace who posted the news, and then a big yes when someone else posted it. I'm just curious if anybody else. Rob Dukes says Moose is washed. I'm guessing that's a negative thing. I'm old and I'm not really sure, but so we have someone who doesn't like Moose, and that's totally cool. You don't have to like everything or everyone here.
Yeah, but I don't see that either, because the creative
maybe he means washed as in clean, and he just took a shower, and for some reason he knows. I don't know, but yeah, listen, we don't give a shit about people's opinions, and we just want them to have them. We just want you to have them and be respectful
and constructive.
Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah. And that's about it for us this week.
Yeah, amazing viewership last week, Jay, with our review of Against All Odds. It got over 200 views, and I think that's like 30 views higher than what we normally get. So,
yeah, very cool. Killing it on the podcast apps. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Like, subscribe, whatever. Discuss Impact Wrestling. And we are out.
Good night, everybody.
Rest in peace, Gary's dog.